Hello, guys. Welcome to Great Fire Podcast. I'm your host, Trey Bate, a.k.a. Trey Bate Knows Boxing.
And I am Willie Mack.
Guys, we're going to get straight to it. I have a question. I have a question for everybody, for guys, gals, for everybody across the world. Is cheating okay? Is cheating okay? Is there ever a circumstance, is there ever a situation where cheating is okay? That's the question. Now, you guys, make sure that you comment on this. Make sure that you write your experiences down. Make sure you guys get involved. We need you guys to get involved. We need your input on this. Is cheating okay? From your experience, from you being a witness, is cheating okay?
And the reason why we're going to jump into this is because I stumbled upon a story on Instagram, which I'm sure all you guys got the app. I'm reading about Jennifer Hudson, the singer, if you guys don't know, and her fiancé, David Otunga. Recently, it was reported that they split after 10 years of engagement, a fiancé of each other's, with no marriage, no wedding in sight. And according to the sources, according to E! Online, Hudson is accusing Otunga for abuse and also putting a fake gun on the table just to scare her, knowing that she lost her family to some murder scene that was done a few years ago by her sister's, I believe, boyfriend. I think he killed the mother, the nephew, and a couple of other people. And also, David Otunga is accusing Jennifer Hudson of cheating on him with a gospel producer. And that is unbelievable to hear because, well, we're going to get into that. But I'm going to finish up with the rest of the story. They were using their son as a message to each other. Otunga was using his son to kind of capture them cheating. Jennifer Hudson, of course, cheating with the gospel producer. And the messed up part was I read that they used him on a school night, which was 12:30 in the morning. Like, let the boy study. Let him study, man. That's why these kids grow up the way they grow up.
Yeah.
You know, you can't bring a kid into the world and kind of give them the dirty information. These kids' brains are like sponges. They catch everything. Everything. So pretty much that was that. They were separated for the first 6 months of this year. Of course, according to the information, they was deteriorating around April, and they were sleeping in separate bedrooms, which I do not agree with.
That's not right.
If I got to go, I'm leaving on site.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stay engaged to nobody for 10 years. That doesn't make sense. With nothing in sight. Like, what are you doing to you?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That attachment.
You know what I'm saying? So, what do you think of that situation, man? Like, or any situation about this topic?
I mean, as far as that goes, as far as a whole, her messing around with the choir guy, what was it?
He's a gospel producer.
Yeah, okay, gospel producer. Well, we'll call him the choir guy.
Choir boy.
I mean, this is not. It's a very common thing. You remember this happened with what's her name? Angie Stone. Was that her name?
Ooh, was it Angie Stone? I think it was Angie.
Was it Angie Stone?
Let's say if it was Angie.
Yeah, it could have been Angie Stone, but yeah, it was the same thing. It was a drummer or whatnot that was on a part of her production or music team. You know, because I think she does a little bit of gospel and whatnot, and she slept around with that guy and ended up having a baby with that guy. So for some odd reason, it's a very common thing in the gospel world or in the church world for this stuff to happen. I mean, even for example, me and my brother, we actually dated two sisters, and their father was a pastor, and I mean a pretty prominent pastor in their city. The whole church knew that he was sleeping around with a specific woman that lived, I think, maybe about 30 miles away. I mean, they used to literally, like, right after church, they used to go in the back, and he had a wife at the time who would sit in the front row while he goes in the back with this woman, and they would act as if they're a complete couple. And it was just okay in that time because he was the pastor. And that's kind of one of the things that kind of steered me away from just going to church as a whole. I mean, even just religion overall. I mean, it's something that's just not, I don't want to say attractive, but the truth is not there. The truth is not amongst it.
Even
not at all.
Inside the church or just with...
Just inside the church, just within religion.
Mm-hmm.
There's supposed to be a lot of truth involved, but there's minimal truth, if not any truth. So, I mean, that stuff is very common in the church world. I mean, it's a common saying that we say all the time as far as, you know, like the women. how they pretty much they party on Saturdays and they get all the ratchetness out, and then on Sunday they got on the same boots as they were wearing the night before, with a little bit of liquor on their cheek, praying to God, asking for more wine. You know, that's
Need some bread to cover up that throw up.
yeah. So, I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, it's a common thing for Jennifer Hudson, somebody, you know, on her level, for her to make that type of, you know, mistake or for her to do that. Of course, there was trouble within a relationship. That does not justify anything. I mean,
not at all.
If anything, you know, separate yourself from the situation to make it, I mean, to at least give yourself some space to be able to think about your decisions before you make them. But to each his own. I mean, that's a pretty devastating situation if in fact that is true. And it seems like just their relationship overall just wasn't something that was working out. I mean, they try to do the whole church thing as far as, I guess, I don't know what that is, separating and sleeping in separate rooms. That's not a relationship. There's no purpose of that. Those two people needed to separate. I mean, as far as energy is concerned, they should have separated completely, which would have made things a little bit more obvious for the most part. They would have known that it just wasn't supposed to work out the way that they thought that it would, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy, man, because, again, this goes back to what I just mentioned before I read the story. Like, how can you be engaged to somebody for 10 years? Like, if it was the maximum I give engagement is maybe 2 years. Maybe you might have hit a financial issue. Maybe there was a death, you know, something that's going on, a family situation or whatever, something that could prevent that knot from being tied. Because I've seen people that waited about a year, maybe 2, maybe 3, just to be sure. But 10 years?
10 years?
Come on, man.
You're not sure, though.
You
don't want
an example. Yeah. I mean, you're engaged at 21. Then you say, well, baby, I'm 31. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to forget about why I proposed to you to begin with.
That's for
you
sure.
know, like, let me get my ring back. Take it back to freaking every kiss begins with K. Take it back to K's jeweler, you know. So it just doesn't make sense. And, you know, I'm not going to rag on Jennifer Hudson because, again, this is all assumed. We know nobody was in the room. We just going to buy something.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Mr. Otunga. I'm not even sure if you guys are aware of this, but Mr. Otunga was on I Love New York. If you guys don't remember, he was a big buff guy with the curly hair.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Come on. I'm not going to lie to you. When Jennifer Hudson and they both hook up, I'm like, wasn't that the brother on I Love New York? And he wanted to fight the skinny dude, Chance or Real or whatever?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was one of those guys.
I remember.
And I'm not going to dish you, but I'm going to dish you. I'm sorry. He was a big sucker for her, and she's not even all that cute. I hate women that smoke cigarettes, so that's like a big turn off. I'm sorry, ladies. If you're a smoker, that shit's ugly. Excuse me. So, you know.
Cigarette smoker for me. I mean, that's
awful. Awful. Like, ugh. Who's going to kiss that breath? Not me. So. You ain't going to kiss me, but that's fine. But make a long story short, man, I'm gonna piggyback with Trey Bate, what he had to say. I dated a female also. I'm not going to mention her name because she might listen, might curse me out later. That's fine. Yeah. You curse me on the comments if you like. I don't care. We had issues around the second, third month because she was saying that I need to, like, give the good Lord thanks. And don't get me wrong, I believe in God and everything. But it was some things that I felt she was using against me for me to kind of let my guards down.
So in a sense, would you say she was using religion as a form of manipulation?
Easily. She tried to make me feel guilty by throwing God at me.
Shaming. That's what they call it.
Yeah, just shaming me like, oh, you know, we shouldn't, you know, excuse my language, but she said we couldn't have sex no more because God told her not to. Like,
you guys were already fucking.
I just cracked her cherry, her delayed cherry. Her delayed cherry was popped, and all of a sudden she want to say God told her not to do it. Like, what were you trying to tell me? Was that the blood and wine? I mean, what are you trying to tell me? Like, it doesn't make sense that you stopped doing me because God told you to. You went to a sermon and the pastor told you he's...
Yeah. Let's say the pastor's... Yeah. Okay. But more than like, so speaking of churches and the pastor, let's talk briefly about just the deception in church overall. Like, what is it about that? As far as just like, I mean, church has become... It's not a holy place anymore. And it's quite obvious that it's not that. It's a place of, it's kind of like a concert in a sense. I mean, they have these huge halls. I mean, they look nice as heck. I mean, you go in Crenshaw, there's about maybe 2 or 3 of them. They're huge auditoriums, huge.
Big stadiums.
And these people pay money for entertainment in a sense. I mean, if they put it on that scale, then it's fair. I mean, that's just me. It's like going to a basketball game. you're paying to watch, an event, to watch the entertainment, to watch the players play. So if you're going to church to watch these guys or to get that motivational speech or to watch these guys, dance and to hear the music and stuff like that, if that's your reason for it and you pay money for that, let's say $20 a week and within donations or whatnot, if you see it that way, that's fair enough. But if you guys, if you guys are saying that church is, just my opinion, but if people are saying that church is the place to where I guess you put the money in, first off, let's scratch all that. Where does the money go?
Supposedly, it's going to God's house.
The money is going to God's house. Okay, well, back to what I was saying. I mean, you guys are giving donations every week for entertainment. If that's the case, then it's fair. Honestly, it really is fair because you can go to a basketball game, you can go to a softball, you go to a baseball game, you go to all types of hockey game, and you pay money to watch the show, to watch entertainment. So, I mean, if you go to church for the entertainment, that's completely fine. If it is related to religion or God, in my opinion, or it's quite obvious that, especially now in 2017, it's not what they say it is. It's not about religion. I don't think that it is necessarily about God anymore. It's about money and power. Money and power. Yeah,
it really is.
Power over a community.
Yeah, unbelievable. Because you go to a church, and here's the deal. We're not even trying to switch subjects, but I'm going to say this. If you go to a church and you see the pastor driving a BMW and have the fattest crib ever, like, is that really going to the house? Could you use that money to donate to charities? You know what I'm saying? So, ladies, you're going to a guy that's driving a BMW with a fat crib. And I'm not dissing no pastor or anything like that, but we're using those pastors as examples.
I'm going to say this. I am dissing the pastors. I'm dissing the pastors for sure.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I know about this firsthand. I know a couple. Literally, I have a couple of friends who are pastors, and they would tell me that it's a game. They'll tell you straight up it's a game. It's a money game. It's about power. They are somewhat of a celebrity. They get the chicks. They get the money. They spend tons of money on hotels and homes in Long Beach and secret apartments here and there. They do it all. They do it all. So as far as this is one of the reasons why, like, when people ask me about church itself, I mean, that house they built is not a sacred place. It's just not. It's just not. It's not the place to be. So for me, as far as religion or as far as, my spiritualness, just the thing is, you just got to know who you are. You just got to know who you are, and it goes back to what we were saying as far as just setting specific goals in life and just following that. I mean, if you believe in God overall, God is amongst everything overall, everything. Therefore, I mean, the things, if you're doing the right things will manifest in a way that it should. And you know what right and wrong is. We're born with that natural instinct of knowing what right and wrong is. That's the thing about it.
Easily. And like I said, and I said this twice already, I believe in God. If God was to come down and say, come home, I'm coming home, straight up.
Let's go.
I'm going to tell him, yeah, let's go, let's roll, But it's just that system. And, it's that system of I have to go to 2 services and I got to listen to such and such and such. And again, this goes back to the pastor's lifestyle, secret lifestyles. I mean, hell, sorry, Kirk Franklin, but you was addicted to porn before you found God again. Hell, if you watched one of those preacher shows on TV One, I think this guy, Reverend Ron, used to carry a strap with him to church. The Reverend carried a strap because he didn't trust an area.
Because he was a mob boss or something.
Yeah, like, come on, man. So it's like, ladies, I hope if you're going to choose a church, choose it wisely. My sister and my brother-in-law go to a really, really great church. If I was to go back to church again, I would recommend that church on Hoover. Very, very great word. But it's others, and ladies, you get in, you party, you thought yourselves on Saturday nights. And then Sundays, I'm going to give praise to God. He blessed me. He gave me. No, boo. You're using him to trying to get your point across that, I follow God first.
They use God or they use religion to justify their narcissism. Let's just say that.
Some of you ladies are narcissists.
That's a fact. And the thing is, I mean, overall, this is what I think. If you are into religion or whatnot, why not build a community of your own? If you think about if you guys actually read the Bible, that's kind of where religion started. It was all about a community, people coming together and making that stuff happen. Not a church leader or anything like that. Individuals coming together for a common cause and creating something positive from that. That's what it's about. So if you were to ask me what the definition of church would be, or the original definition, it would be community overall. If I was to choose one word. So now, really quick, getting back on the cheating thing. Cheating, in my opinion, is the most evil thing you can do to another human being besides killing them. It is. The effects that it had, the effects that cheating has in relation to society is huge. It's huge. It has a negative effect that tears things down. It destroys things for generations. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. Cheating is the most offensive and the most negative thing you could do to another human being besides murdering them.
Easily.
Imagine how you feel when someone cheats on you. Now, speaking of that, have you ever cheated on someone?
This is on me.
Straight to it.
Oh, you know what's funny? I've only had about 3, maybe 4 real girlfriends. So the question is, have I cheated on y'all 4? Did y'all cheat on me? That's the real question. Only act upon y'all actions. So if you cheated on me, damn well I cheated on you right back. If you didn't cheat on me, I was cool.
So your answer, so cheating is okay to some extent. Would you say that?
I wouldn't. No, it's not. It's not cool. I'm pretty much putting a Band-Aid over the hurt, the cut that you put on me by cheating on you. But just like I put a Band-Aid. Cheating is like a Band-Aid. Eventually that Band-Aid wears out and that cut is still there.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying my feelings. It still hurt because you cheated on me. So no, it's not okay because it's a psychological effect. And my girls,
Absolutely.
Every girl I've ever dated always say, Will, stop bringing that baggage with you because you're going to ruin your future relationships. It took my last girl to tell me, hey, like your baggage is starting to wear on us. And I'm like, because I'm so used to being done wrong. See? And I tell every single girl I've ever dated, like, if you're going to do something, tell me. So if you're going to cheat, tell me. Like, we could be friends. I'll even pay your gas for you because you cheated on me and you told me. Like, that's the realest shit you could ever tell me. You cheated on me. But you didn't tell me, so now you effed me up for a cool minute.
That shows, I mean, the power of honesty. That's honesty. As I've grown, honesty is huge. It changes a lot. If you can be honest, I may not, especially like as far as cheating, you can admit that, say whatever. If you're honest, perfectly fine. We can shake hands and I won't have as bad as a reaction as I would have if let's say if I would have caught you. But at the same time, there's more respect behind you being honest and me just saying, hey, you know what, I got to go my own way. It's not something I respect. It's just not what I do. I mean, when it comes down to that, I can respect somebody who's honest.
Easily.
I mean, the thing about people who are honest, there's no question behind it. Like, for example, Cardi B coming out and saying everything about herself, how she used to be this and that and this kind of thought and that kind of thought. In the end, it's like, what can you really say about somebody like that who's already exposed themselves? You can't really say much about it.
Nothing.
She's already owned up to her way.
And that's a cool thing, man, because, you know, again, I dated a female that admitted she cheated in her past, too. So I had to ask myself, will I be safe from not getting cheated on?
So question.
Yep.
Once a cheater, always a cheater? Fact or no?
Once a cheater, always a cheater. I'll be praying that she saw the light and is different. But you still have in the back of your mind, whatever slip up she has, she lost that leeway because of her past. And that's kind of screwed up because you want to give everybody benefit of a doubt. But any kind of, I don't know, I pick up tone, I pick up vision, I pick up body language. Any of those things that are in question, damn, it does fall back to cheater or is always a cheater. And that sucks because I don't want to think that way. But it's like, it's very hard to answer, man. Like, I try to give a girl a clean slate, but it's like you doing things that makes me feel like that. Wait a minute, man.
This is why, for me, like, it's an automatic thing. There's certain things, certain traits, certain characteristics that once I see that, I know what category to put them in. Not necessarily that I'm going to, I guess, like, just cut you off right then and there. Mm-hmm. But in my mind naturally puts that person in a specific category. And within whatever category that you're in, you're treated, I mean, everybody's treated the same, you know, everybody who I deal with. But you are restricted to certain things once you're in that specific category. Let's just say that. Mm-hmm. So that means that it's going to be, let's say, a certain way that we do things versus, let's say, someone else who has a certain type of characteristics that are more let's say, compatible to my lifestyle. That's something that would, I'll put them in a specific category, which would allow more doors to open up for them. To say that, for example.
So would you say you give him a benefit of a doubt, or like if she says, "Hey, Trey, like I ain't gonna lie to you, like I cheated in my past relationships, but she might not say I'm not like that no more, but she's giving you a chance to make you her boyfriend."
That would never happen.
No,
For a
Even though
fact.
you're a
Yeah, I'm
boyfriend.
just even. That's why I say honesty is great. If she's honest enough to say that, I will not hook up with her.
Oh shoot,
I would not
she
have
killed
a
her
relationship with
chances.
her. Absolutely.
Damn,
Completely dead.
that's
Like I
crazy.
said, I appreciate the honesty, but the thing is, you really helped me not go through that. Plus, I mean, I'm a lot different now, so I can actually see, like you said, as far as the vision, as far as feeling body, just the chemistry overall. I have a better sense of seeing and understanding what's going on now than I did before. Because, and the thing is, what's so funny? Most of us, men and women, we see the issues, but we tend to ignore it. Why? It could be related to loneliness. It could be related to a lot of different things. I would say, the base will be loneliness, though. It naturally is loneliness that kind of pushes people towards that point to where they feel that that significant other or that mate or whatnot is scarce, or to get a girlfriend or boyfriend is scarce. And in the world that we live in now, like we mentioned before, for women it's becoming a lot more scarce. For men, it's getting a little bit easier as the weeks go by. It's getting better and better for men. And I mean, I'm not just trying to take up for men, but I'm being dead honest. I'm looking at the stuff. I'm looking at the climate. I've been on this stuff for over 8 years. Like, I really pay attention to this stuff and how society moves, and it's moving towards that. It really, really is. It really, really is, to where it's becoming the man's world. I mean, in a sense, it really, really is. I mean, I'm curious to see how everything turns out. I am, because within the next 5 years, the things that we're talking about now is going to be quite significant. People are going to be like, damn, like they said this stuff years ago, when it's funny how it's actually happening now. But as you can see, remember, like, as we talk, like, we see this stuff happening each and every day. It's always some type of example that's manifesting to kind of show us that our theory is correct to some extent. Like, we saw this stuff happening years ago. Years ago, we called it out, and I mean, it's actually manifesting today. Like, it's happening, and it's freaky. We talk about it. It's freaky to actually watch it happen, but it seems like it's going to turn out the way we expected. And it sucks, because the thing is, we're not. You guys are going to hear us talk about this stuff a lot, but we're not against women at
No,
all.
not
We're
at
not.
all.
We're not misogynistic. Nothing like that. The thing is, we want women to get involved so we can figure out how this happened and either decrease it or eliminate this issue overall, because it's not fair. It's not fair for either side to have a disadvantage. It's not fair. It's not fair that in society overall, just how we treat each other, just the male species and the female species, more of the female species than how they treat the males. More of them, because it's just being dead honest. And the thing is, like we said, you guys definitely in the comment section, get involved. Let's talk.
Yep.
Give us your examples. If you disagree, say that you disagree, politely, of course, and let's talk about this stuff, because you may introduce something to us that we never knew, that may change our perception, or it may add to our perception or our ideas, which will help us present something quite valuable to you guys, or present something to where we can kind of, come to a conclusion, because it's all about us helping each other. I mean, humans helping each other, men and women, no matter what race it is, no matter what nationality, no matter what continent or country you come from, we're all in this together. Because, I mean, this stuff is happening in Australia, big time, heavy.
Cheaters in Australia?
Oh, yeah. It's happening in the UK, it's more abundant over there. So what the things that were affecting us over here the most is now affecting everybody across the world. It's becoming a worldwide issue. So, I mean, it's something that we should all be talking about, because the thing is that we can kind of, it's a way of protecting ourselves. It's a way of preserving ourselves as well. Especially, like I said, it's about the women. It's sad to see this stuff happen. We saw this stuff happen for years, and now we're like, you know what? It's about time that the women know what's going on, because the women can make a change. If you know what's going on, you can kind of get involved and change things to some extent. That's very, very important.
Deep. And it's funny. I can't even disagree on none of that, because I experienced it. I could sit here and say, "Yeah, right, Trey, you're right, man," and I went through it. I've been through it. you know, and I'm sure most of you guys been through it too. And here's the deal, ladies. We know as men that screw up too out here.
Oh, big time.
You know, there's a lot of women that want to stay faithful, that wanted to cook for their man, give him good sex and everything. He goes up and F up he messed up a good thing. So men, you're at fault at this as well. But
But
ladies,
I got to say this,
yo,
women, you guys pick some shitty ass dudes, and you know
real
it.
talk.
You pick some shitty ass dudes, and you know it. Look at me, look at me. You know it. You know damn well that you pick some shitty dudes. So to some extent, I think some women are intimidated by the guys who do have it together because those guys appear to be the ones who got all the chicks. So there is some. I mean, I could say just for me, there more women are intimidated by me than let's say somebody who's the opposite of me.
Flavor Flav.
Exactly. So they would go for that, thinking that there's an easier route, because in a sense, I mean, society has taught women that they have to have control instead of either having or sharing the control, having like a mutual situation going on to where you assist me and I assist you. What I can't do, you can do. What you can't do, I can do. That's how things were set up originally. That's how things were in the 60s. That's why humans or men and women complement each other. Now it's a race for control, not more on the men's side because, it's not really that because, the men's natural instinct is to be the protector, the provider, and somewhat to be the leader. Women are supposed to be, as far as nature's concerned, of course they're the ones who carry the children, but they're the ones who are supposed to assist men and kind of, in a sense, guide them in the correct way, or guide them towards the right path, in a sense.
Pretty much the backbone.
Exactly, the backbone. But in a sense, we're supposed to be working together, if you think about it. And that has fallen apart. And that relationship, it's a huge issue. It's a huge issue.
And you remember when you got on me, and another one of our friends got on me about the way I thought, and I'm one of the guys that I could attest to. I'm an old school thinker, so I'm the kind of guy that felt like, oh, well, I could buy this girl some roses and she'll like me and she ain't gonna ever leave me and none of that stuff, And they used to always tell me, man, get out of that mindset. Like anything can happen. Like don't believe every single thing you hear.
True.
And I'm one of the gullible ones. Like, oh well, as long as she give me the nookie, I'll be fine. She's not giving it to nobody else. Then he had to ask me, like, who are you? What makes you so special that she couldn't give it to nobody else?
True.
And that's kind of messed up because it's like I really try to be a one woman guy. And, cheating is not cool. I hate that I cheated on a few relationships, but I had to because I was hurting sitting here being a loser, not doing anything while you lie to me and say, oh, I'm doing this and that, but you're over some brother's house, some cat's house, somebody that you would even tell me about when I asked, like, hey, yo, are you sure a relationship is cool? Oh, yeah, well, he just tripped me overreacting, whatever. So these guys have to tell me, Will, like, you need to start thinking ahead. Because if you're not, you're going to not survive. You're going to die out here.
It is.
And
it's
messed up. It's like, damn, some chicks changed the way I thought, the way I came up, because both our parents are great. Both the women in our family, my mom and his mom, are great women. His sisters and my sisters are great. So we want something just like that.
Exactly.
We be feeling like that they're out there. But it's like, you screw us up. I don't know if it's because of a control thing, like he said, or a situation you had in the past, but you screw people like me up and other good guys out there up because you want to get your point across that you got control and you can do whatever it is you want to do. And I fell and I succumbed to that. So it's like, damn, 10 years ago, would you ask me, hey, are you cool being single? I probably said, nah, because I like having a girlfriend.
True.
But now I'm enjoying being single because I ain't got to stress about nobody doing nothing behind my back. And it's like females doing the same thing. They don't want to be with nobody because they don't want nobody to be stressing about, but we came into this world to be companions, to be a partnership.
To work together.
Together.
In whatever way that we can.
Let's build a foundation. Let's bring it back. And I'm going to ask you a quick question, man. Do you blame social media on the reason why there's a disconnect in relationships?
Oh, yeah. Because, social media is the fast food. It's the drive-through.
Ooh, that's deep.
Social media is the drive-through. The effort and what we used to have to do as far as actually putting in that true effort of even texting. You notice how things can be misconstrued with texting. Snapchat. Let's talk about Snapchat for a second because I think that's probably one of the best examples. Snapchat was made, in my opinion, it was made to help people cheat with the whole disappearing messages and all that crap. That's automatically, you got to understand this human nature. not male nature, female nature. Those two separate things. Human nature as a whole, which includes both males and females. When you put that in front of somebody or in front of humans, naturally they're gonna abuse that power. And a lot of people, I think, cheating rose. Maybe if I was to put a percentage on it, like I said, I'm creating this in my own head. It rose maybe about 30% when Snapchat arose, when Snapchat came, because there was a way for females or for males too, for people to cheat and get away with it. And I mean, it just disappears. I mean, what would be the purpose of that? What would be the purpose of disappearing messages? Why? Why? Why would you have to have any messages? Why don't you just delete it? But the program itself deletes it for you. It for me. Oh, it allowed a lot of people to play games within my within my world, which it's okay because
Slippery.
you know how it is now. I mean, I'm in a way better place than what I used to be. So, I mean, everything worked out for me. I mean, I'm very happy. But yeah, it's stuff like that. I definitely think social media. I mean, it's a part of just the evolution of just human beings overall. It's just it's insane how effective social media has been. Like I said, there's a lot of positive things to it. I'll say mainly business and money. And besides that, that type of power people are going to abuse. Naturally, people are going to abuse that kind of power. So as far as, I mean, yeah, social media allows you to cheat at a short range. It allows you, I mean, as far as just patience, I mean, it gets rid of that. It destroys the waiting game, which the waiting game is something that, in a sense, we need that. It drives us.
We
it
love
makes us work.
anticipation.
Yeah, it works. It makes us work a little bit harder. It makes us, I mean, in a sense, we're a little bit more focused. Our energy is more focused on one thing rather than being scattered all over the place. But I think social media, it's a negative thing. I could say for women, it affects women more negatively than men.
Also,
absolutely. I mean, just you think about it, women have become the biggest followers on the planet. Trust me, you got a lot of male followers, losers. I'm not gonna lie about that, but what has happened, just this epidemic as far as just sexuality, it's just women just exposing themselves and not, I mean, just that imagination phase that men are supposed to have. It's not there anymore. It's so common to see ass, titties, nipples, pussy. Like I said, it's a beautiful thing, believe me. But when it's common, it's not scarce.
it's not
When things are not scarce, then it's not interesting. It lacks interest,
man,
overall.
exactly, man, because you can see like big booty chicks every single post you scroll down is a
Yes.
big booty chick. I remember seeing a big booty girl back in the 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, it was
like,
rare.
Like, man, like she got a curve.
And not everybody's doing it. Even the ones that you would have thought who were more conservative, they feel like they have to do it in order to get attention. Because, they'll put up a positive post regarding work or their successes. It gets a good amount of likes, but it's not giving them the same attention, which makes them, that's a problem with them as well, looking for that attention online. But, I mean, overall, they're not getting that attention. So they feel like they have to do something drastic in order to get that attention. And then they do get it, then they know that it works, and then that effect, it becomes an addiction overall. They have to do it in order to get these likes or in order to feel some type of way about themselves. So, I mean, as far as self-esteem, I'll say social media has destroyed the natural human self-esteem.
Man,
It has destroyed it because that type of validation is what people need validation from people that they don't know and people who do not care about them. And if they are liking your pictures, they just want to fuck.
fuck.
That's it. They just want to fuck when you scroll down that stuff. And that's why I recommend, guys, like I mentioned before, social media filtering. Go down your timeline. Let's just use Instagram, for example. Start off with Instagram. Whenever you see ass, tits, anything like that, go to that page. If you're following that person, don't block them. Just unfollow it. Therefore, on your timeline, what you're seeing is nothing but positivity. If you don't have that stuff, start adding that stuff. Motivational speakers. What's the guy at Wallow267? He's one of the guys. Just hashtag motivation. You'll see that stuff. When you wake up in the morning, you look at nothing but positive things that'll help you get from point A to point B, things that'll help you stay on track, things that'll help you follow your dreams and just stick to that goal. Because the thing about it, as you get better in life, you're able to help others. And that's the number one thing in life, in everybody's life. You should have that in your heart. You should have it to where you want to help others,
Yeah, exactly.
That should be a natural instinct amongst all of us.
Yeah, and we're going to touch back on the subject as these shows go along because I'm sure you guys got a lot to say. I'm sure you guys going to hammer me. Hey, nobody want to talk to you, Will. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk to y'all either. No, let me know, man. If I screwed up somewhere down the line, hit me up. If Trey Bates says something that might hit you the wrong way, hit us up because we're going to read everything, and we don't care. You can shoot on us. Shoot.
Go ahead. Guys, get involved. Get
Please.
involved because, like I said, we're not right about everything.
Nope.
These are our opinions. These are strong opinions from, with a lot of experience. But chime in. Get involved. Talk to us. Let's chat it up. Write down your comments, your opinions. Tell us your stories. Let's break it down. As a matter of fact, you got a good story. We'll display it on here. We'll give you a shout out and make things happen. You know how it is. So, guys, this has been another episode of Gray Fire Podcast with your host, Trey Bate, Knows Boxing.
And Willie.
All right, guys, you have a good one.
Have a great night.